What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Horror Bros podcast. I'm Danny,
And I'm Derek.
and today we're coming at you with one of the most iconic horror films of all time. We got the 1978 John Carpenter film, Halloween. And this is probably the horror movie that got me into horror movies. If it wasn't for Halloween, I wouldn't have any of this stuff because it was Halloween started it for me. Halloween led me into the serial killers, which led me into the other kinds of horror movies, bro.
Oh yeah.
And see, what I want to do is we've never really done this before, but do you remember the first time you ever watched Halloween?
Mm. I remember the first time I ever seen the sixth one. Uh, when did I see this one? Oh man, I don't remember the exact time, but it's been so long ago. I've seen this movie so many times, and
Yeah,
every time I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I've watched it so many times.
yeah.
It's so
Like
good.
the first time I
It
watched
never
it,
gets old.
I remember because it wasn't the first time I watched it, but it was the first time I was able to watch it and understand what was going on because I'd seen it like on when I was a kid because Papa used to be into that stuff, but I was like, that's weird. But I watched it for the first time. I want to say it was the first time I watched the original. It was probably, I think it was on cable. I'm pretty sure it was on, and I'm pretty sure it was right around the time Halloween because that's when it was on. And I was like, bro, because I didn't even get to watch it from the beginning. I was like, bro, that's good.
Yeah. And what year is that? Do you remember about what year?
Gosh, the first time I seen Halloween, I was probably like old enough to remember it. I was probably like 10 or 11.
Oh dang.
And from then
Yeah.
on, it was like, well, actually, no, I wouldn't say from then on out I was in love with horror movies, but like that one was definitely the one that I stayed talking about until I got more into horror because I didn't get like crazy fanboy into horror until like 2, 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, I've always been a big fan of horror, and I think probably the first time I seen this one would probably be about 93. I think it was 93. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can't say that. I wasn't
Rented it
alive
from
then.
a movie store.
but
Yeah, I was like 20 years before you seen it.
but kind of one thing that I didn't know was everybody knows that this film's and it was an independent film and it was written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill.
Okay.
But actually, what I didn't know was actually John Carpenter didn't wasn't on Halloween from the jump. Originally, it was Deborah Hill and her husband, I'm pretty sure. John Carpenter didn't come into the scene until like after it was already like gonna be called Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Hang on, it says
Oh,
stuff about that in the production. Yeah, but see, because it was after it was Erwin Yablans and the financier Mustafa Akkad that's like they call him the grandfather of Halloween because
oh yeah. The
like
rights to the franchise just went back to his son after Halloween ends.
Malik.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Dude, if anybody's gonna do something good with it, I say there won't be another Halloween movie probably for a good 5, maybe even 10 years. But I mean,
Yeah.
you know, another timeline will start soon. I'm sure. I
Oh
hope
yeah.
so, at least.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
and that's just the thing. I haven't seen that many horror movies that can have so many alternate timelines and people still love the franchise.
Right? Yeah, dude. I like because Jackson always asks me what's my favorite timeline. I'm like, I love them all.
They call it the Halloween Express because how many different timelines are there? There's three, isn't there?
Yeah, there's the original, and then there's the H2O one, and then there's the 2018 one, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And we're not really gonna do it by any storylines. We're just gonna do it in order. We're gonna go from one and go to the latest one to come out. We're not gonna do like 2018 kills and ends or like
Yeah.
one H2O because then that'd just be crazy. But we will go over the whole Halloween Express in the video. I
Yeah.
like to call it that because that's what another YouTuber calls it, the Halloween Express, because it looks like a big old train track on the screen of all the different timelines.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh no, anyways, what I was saying was how Carpenter came into it. But after Erwin Yablans and Mustafa Akkad watched John Carpenter's film Assault on Precinct 13, have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
it good? I've never watched it.
Yeah, that one and the remake is really good too. I enjoyed the remake because they remade that like in 2009, I think. Or no, it'd be late, way sooner than that. Hold on. Yeah, it is definitely a good movie though. You should check it out.
Yeah, but it says they sought out Carpenter to direct a film for them about a psychotic killer that stalked babysitters. So initially, from the jump, they knew that they wanted it to be a psychotic killer that stalked babysitters. They just didn't know exactly what word should I use? They didn't know what dynamic they wanted to do it in or something. I'm trying to sound sophisticated, but
um,
yeah.
real quick, the Assault on Precinct remake came out in '05. So,
Oh, 05.
yep,
I'm gonna have to
2005.
definitely check them out. I'm gonna have to see
Yeah,
if
they're
they're
good.
on anything.
Yep.
But it says in an interview with Fangoria magazine, Yablon said, I was thinking what would make sense in a horror genre, and what I wanted to do was make a picture that had the same impact as The Exorcist. Carpenter
Cool.
agreed to direct the film contingent on his on on him having full creative control. So John Carpenter said he would do it. He just wanted to, make it his own thing.
Yeah.
Basically, he does what everybody else is too scared to do anymore. They won't let, like the big companies boss them around. And it was easier back in the 70s. Everybody wasn't so uptight. You could
Yes.
get away with a lot more than you can now because people
Yeah.
now were very harsh, I'd say. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Dude, I would say that it has made a bigger impact than The Exorcist. I love The Exorcist movies. I don't know if you've seen those, but I would say Halloween is a bigger franchise for sure.
Okay, let me scratch what I said before. So Deborah Hill was working on it with somebody else, but that was my bad. It wasn't her husband because it says later in it that actually John Carpenter, like once John Carpenter started working on Halloween, him and Deborah actually got together. So they were dating by this time. Like during the Halloween production, they were together.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, something I think is really crazy for a movie that made so much. Can you guess how much John Carpenter made off of the original Halloween? But
Since you said it
before
like that, it's probably not a lot.
before you guess, he did the writing, directing, and he scored the film. So that's three
Since you
major
said,
credits. That's three major
mm,
credits.
okay, the budget was 320,000 and it made 70 million. But the way you said that, it probably isn't a lot. So I'm going to say 50,000.
10 grand.
Dude, I was going to say 10,000.
You should have. That would have been right.
Whoa.
Dude, but that's
That
so
is
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
it said he made 10,000 for his work, which included writing, directing, and scoring the film. And see, this is where it says him and his then girlfriend, Deborah Hill, began drafting the story of Halloween.
Hmm.
And
10,000 is not a lot to make. Well, maybe it was back then, but
do you think the Halloween name and like the holiday aspect, do you think if it didn't have that aspect of it, do you think it would be as successful?
hmm. I think it being called Halloween definitely has helped it because a lot of people associate it with Halloween, and
Yeah.
Halloween is a big deal.
See, because honestly, because I feel like if they would have went with the original title, this is a myth. So I don't wait. Okay, never mind. See, I need to start reading farther before I talk. because actually there was a myth that went around saying at one point that Halloween was supposed to be called the babysitter murders,
Yeah, I
which
heard that.
is plain, bro. That's kind of trash, honestly.
Yeah, I heard that. I feel
I'm
like
glad
if
they did Halloween, honestly.
yeah, because I've heard that too. If they did that name, no, I don't think it would be as big as it is. No
Yeah.
way.
But then it said Yablons has since debunked that, and he said it has always been intended to be calling Halloween.
Hmm.
See, bro, this is what I'm saying. You see how we're already a good minute into this and we're not like struggling to figure out what to say next, dude, because
Yeah.
we know this movie's so good.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
I'm talking about, bro. We need to start doing more movies like this that we can just keep flowing off each other.
Oh, I agree. And dude, like I said earlier, I've seen this movie a million times, but every time I go to, because I try to watch it every Halloween, and sometimes even more than that. I watch it and I'm like, yeah, this is why I watch it so many times because it's so great. It never gets old.
And
The
and that
suspensefulness in it is just so good.
that takes a lot to be able to watch a movie like like I said in the last podcast, I can't watch a movie and then watch it again the next day. It has to be
Yeah.
really good. But honestly, I could probably watch Halloween once a day for the rest of my life and be okay with it.
Oh yeah.
Just because
Great.
the way, and honestly, Tony Moran and Nick Castle do a great job of playing the shape. Like he's one of the most iconic murderers of all time. But John Carpenter
Yep.
doing the score, like the music through the whole thing, that creepy vibe,
Mm-hmm.
I he does such a good job of setting the tone.
He really does. Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll show it off on this video because I don't want to take them down because they're like hanging on my wall. But
Yeah.
I do have the two original Michael Myers autographs. I can actually show you guys one of them. So I have Nick Castle's autograph on, but it's
That's
on the
epic.
Halloween 2018 mask, which is, I mean, it's still cool because he was still behind the
Yeah.
mask in some parts of 2018 too. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And then he had
Tony,
a cameo in Halloween Ends. So.
yeah, dude, I actually didn't know that till like a couple weeks ago, which is kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, he was the old guy at the dance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually a little
We're at the
homage
bar, not the dance.
homage to PJ Souls. When did you hear what he said in the background?
What's that?
See anything you like? That's what Linda said to Ghost Bob, aka
Yes.
Michael under the sheets.
Yes.
And I was like,
Sweet.
wow, that's super crazy
Yeah, I
because
didn't see that the first time I seen that. That's awesome.
for you guys that don't know, I said I was going to make a post and I haven't done it. I might do it after this episode goes live on the channel, but I've actually met Tony Moran and PJ Souls, two of the original actors from the Halloween film, which is super cool. I
That
must say,
really is.
Tony Moran, I even apologized to him on how bad I was at talking to him because, like, I knew what I wanted to say, but I couldn't make it come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's a super cool guy. He was so
Oh yeah.
good to
Well,
me. It was great.
yeah. Well, you're just a little starstruck. I would have been too. Easy.
Dude, like that whole convention. You know what we're doing this year? We're gonna vlog it. On God, I'm gonna vlog the whole
Oh,
thing.
that.
We're gonna go
Yes.
together. You're gonna drive and I'm gonna
Hmm.
vlog. You're gonna drive and I'm gonna vlog.
Sweet. Dude, that sounds so good.
Because for real,
We have to do it.
on a for real note, I honestly don't think I could handle driving down there again.
Yeah, I don't
I
think.
feel
Yeah,
like
I
I'm gonna be
wouldn't.
way too jumpy
Yeah.
because I don't know. It see because like even though I know that that convention ain't for another year, I was already trying to find somebody to drive for me just because I was so scared to drive down there again. And for you guys
Yeah,
that
I
don't,
know. Dude,
yeah, I'll go
go
into it here in
ahead.
a
Sorry.
second. What was you playing? What was you saying?
I was just gonna say you're still a young driver, man, and I'm used to drive. I used to drive everywhere for wrestling and stuff like that. So I used to drive all over. So I'm definitely down to drive.
Yeah, but I mentioned it in another podcast because I was talking about that convention, but we went down there and it was the first night we were supposed to be there. And actually, if we wouldn't have gotten in town so late, we would have been at the convention and none of it would have happened. But
Mm.
I waited for the arrow to turn and I went and the dude ran his light and T-boned us and really screwed us up. Thank God nobody was hurt, but the car was totaled, so we lost our van out
Yeah.
of it. But that doesn't even change the fact that it was one of the greatest weekends of my life because the next day after that, I went on to the convention and if you were there, you wouldn't have even been able to tell that I just totaled that I had just had my car totaled and had no way of making it home. Well,
Yeah.
no, that's cap because I did at the time I was at the convention. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. That's true.
that first night was rough. Went and ate at Hooters, having a good time, and then boom. But yeah, I met
Man,
two of the original characters. Pretty lit. But anyway,
pretty epic.
back to the movie. So we was talking about how it was supposed to be called the Babysitter Murders,
Yes.
and like I said, your blondes debunked that rumor, and that he said that it had always been intended to be called Halloween, but that Carpenter said of the basic concept Halloween night, it has never been the theme in a film because John Carpenter's original idea for Halloween was doing a
Uh-huh.
haunted house film.
That
Did
would
you
have been
know that?
different.
I honestly didn't
I
know
didn't
that
know that.
either.
No, I
Like
didn't.
going through this, I found out a lot of stuff that I really didn't know that I felt like I should have known.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
But imagine like Michael Myers being a spirit haunting a house. That'd be
Dude, it would have been a whole different.
yeah, that'd be whack.
Yeah, it'd have been so much different. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just wanting to go through some of the
Yeah.
behind the scenes
That's
stuff we'll
interesting. Yeah, it's
describe
very
each
interesting.
everything. But actually we gotta think. So this is 1978, right? There's
Yeah.
been a few slashers, not too many. The one that they seem to have that they say John Carpenter seems to have picked off of the most was Black Christmas. Have you seen Black Christmas?
I have, and it's really good. I
I've
watched it a couple weeks ago.
I watched it too. And for any of you guys that don't know, Halloween is really hard to find on streaming platforms. Shudder
Mhm.
has it, surprisingly.
Do
It's
they?
got one, it don't have two or three, but it's got four and five.
Yeah.
And just recently, actually, I didn't know this, but as of December 1st, remember how I was saying how they had all the Nightmare on Elm Streets? They just
Yeah.
added them on the 1st of December, every
Sweet.
one of them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
go
know
check
one
out
time I seen.
Shudder.
Oh yeah, dude, have you heard of the news that AMC is laying off a bunch of stuff
Yes.
and people are worried that it's going to damage Shutter
I
or
forgot
shut it
about
down?
that. Yeah, I wanted to mention that.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, hopefully everything's good down there. Hopefully they don't have to lay too many off, so Shutter will be okay
Yeah,
though.
especially
Because
and also this close to Christmas, man, that would suck.
honestly, Shutter's doing fine. I don't think Shutter's going anywhere.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, you guys, Shutter's pretty good. It's got the original Halloween, like I said, which you can't find on anywhere. There's a code you can get for your first month free. I think it's Dead Meat James, all one word. It's the Dead Meat. I'm gonna still always rep their stuff, but I figured if I can help y'all out with a free month, might as well.
Yeah,
Pretty sure it's
do
Dead
it.
Meat James, all one word, all lowercase. Try that. But yeah, that'll get you a free 30 days. So,
Nice.
but yeah, it's it says right here, film director Bob Clark suggested in an interview released in 2005 that Carpenter had asked him for his own ideas for a sequel to his 1974 film Black Christmas.
Ooh. Dude, yeah, that's a great and the remake of Black Christmas is really good too. I don't know if you've seen that. That's the first one I seen, and then I watched the original, but they're both great.
Imagine how good John Carpenter felt because if he's taken Black Christmas as a like I would not a role model, but like an influencer into this movie, and
Yeah,
then the director of that movie asks you for your opinion on a sequel, that's pretty lit, dude. And
that
like
is, yes.
until Halloween, John Carpenter really isn't even known yet, is he? I mean,
Because I think the thing came out after Halloween, right?
yeah, I think he had done something, but nothing big yet. I think Halloween was really put him on the map, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then the thing came out, right? It came out in the 80s, or am I wrong?
All right. I want to do one last little piece of
1982. Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff, and this is crazy. Okay, hang on, real quick. I want to look up. Let's look this up. So, an hour and a half long movie. So, I mean, obviously, making a movie takes a long time, right? I mean, everybody knows that. If it's
Yes.
good, it's going to take a while. If it's
Hmm.
good, it's going to take a while to write. Well, not for these guys, because for the screenplay, it took approximately 10 days to write the whole movie. 10 days.
Whoa,
1
that's
week
all.
and 3 days. And it said Yablons and Akkad ceded most of the creative control to writers Carpenter and Hill, who Carpenter wanted as a producer. Huh? Oh, but Yablons did offer several suggestions. According to a Fangoria interview with Hill, Yablons wanted the script written like a radio show with booze every 10 minutes.
What does that mean? Like them just drinking every?
Uh, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean.
I don't either. I guess movie
So,
talk.
what, like watching Halloween every 10 minutes, be like, boo. What?
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe like to make people mad.
See,
I don't know.
because, hmm. All right. I think that's enough behind the scenes footage. I don't know. I don't know how much I believe that. But anyway, I don't need the Wikipedia for this because I know
Yeah,
this
for sure.
movie's so good. Anyways, let's start out with it's Halloween night, right?
Hmm.
And it starts out in first person. You don't know who it is. Kind of like off the jump, you can tell that John Carpenter, like Black Christmas,
Yes, yeah, because
is
that was a big
yeah,
thing in Black Christmas.
yeah, that was a really
First
big thing in
person,
Black
yeah,
Christmas. The first person killer, like
yeah.
the making it to where you don't know who it is, and you can
Hmm.
see how like Black Christmas does it, and nobody really picks up on it because for the people that don't know, Black Christmas wasn't really an American film; it was Canadian. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. So actually, Black Christmas it was known in the states, but like not as much as you would think for it to be like a big movie just because it was a Canadian film. It didn't make its way in like I don't know what I'm trying to say. It didn't blow up in America till a little bit after it came out in Canada, is
Yeah,
what I heard. But yeah, it starts out as in the first person, and you see him looking in the window. It kind of looks like he's like looking in like a stranger's house, and
yeah,
you see the. I'll go ahead and tell y'all. It's Michael's house. It's his sister and her boyfriend. They're making out, and they're sneaking up the steps to fool around.
yeah.
But I don't know if his like wiener was small or what because it only lasted like 5 seconds because it cuts to him walking down the steps. So, bro, I don't know. I don't know if he's got like problems in that area, but
Oh man,
obviously
poor
he
guy.
couldn't hold her attention for very long. But after he walks out, you see him. Um, does it show like him pull the mask down? It
Yeah, I think so, doesn't it?
does do that. See, because I know it does later on
Yeah,
in the franchise that I'm not going to say anything about because, like, we're going to cover that later.
yeah,
But, anyways, it shows him going in the house and it shows him walking up steps slowly. And meanwhile, all you can see is like the eye holes.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's like the camera's looking
Yeah.
through the eye holes. Yeah,
Yeah. And the shot was really good because like it really puts you in his shoes because like the camera's shaking with the steps, you can really feel it. And then what I like is it kind of holds that first person throughout the whole kill, bro. Because he walks up there and she's like, Michael, and like, of course she ain't wearing a shirt because she was doing stuff with her boyfriend. And then
yeah,
all of a sudden he just starts going ham, bro.
yeah.
And then like it, meanwhile it's still in
Cars
that
are up.
first person. Looks up and you can just see the knife stabbing into her. And after she lays out on the floor, he Michael just casually walks outside, walks down the steps, and walks into his parents
Yeah.
that had just come home. And I don't know, for him to have stabbed her that many times, I would have thought there'd be a little bit more blood than like that far at the
Yeah.
tip.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know,
Maybe they couldn't use a lot of blood with kids back in those days.
ma-
Maybe.
honestly, that would make sense. Let's go with it.
Yeah, let's go with it. I'm sure if it's wrong, someone will correct it. But
But that's the infamous opening scene. Yeah,
yeah, and the camera like fade like
yeah.
comes out on me, he's just like stare and blink.
I do want to throw something else in there. I don't know if this is where it comes in, but there's a special television scene of Halloween. Did you know that?
And what do you mean?
There's a scene of Halloween that they've only aired. I mean, I'm sure there's a certain Blu-ray or extended cut you can get, but it's a cut of Loomis in like he's in court, but it's like he's talking to the judge by himself about Michael. You ain't never seen
Oh,
it
I
before,
didn't know.
dude. I've seen
No.
it because this is why it's a really good thing to be in horror groups. If y'all are horror fans, get in them groups on Facebook because there is no horror community. There is no better community than the horror community, bro. It's the coolest community out there. But yeah, they were saying like they even had the clip and all. It's on YouTube if y'all want to go see it. But it's like
I'll definitely check it
I
out.
don't remember what he was saying. I think he was trying to just like explain to him how much of a danger he was. But I can't remember. I'd only watched it once, but I just want to throw that out there. They did add a specially made for TV scene, but after
I'll have
that,
to check that.
yeah, after that opening scene, yeah, I meant to ask you to see if you had known about it.
Yeah, no, never.
But after that opening scene, it cuts to the late Donald Pleasance and Marion Chambers, right? Nurse Chambers.
Yes. Yeah, they're driving in the car. Yeah, because it says 15 years
I
later.
was gonna say her real name, but I didn't know it. Let's see if I can find it. Um, hang on, hang on. I bet it'll say it right here.
Oh yeah, it's on there somewhere, I'm sure.
Uh, it actually doesn't say.
It doesn't say who plays her.
Not right here. It don't. But anyways, they're driving down the road and they're actually on their way to the uh, uh the institution that Michael's being locked up at, and they're getting ready to. Actually, I don't know why. Do you know why Michael would be going to court
Yeah.
15 years later?
No, I don't. No. Oh, yeah, yeah, probably because they were deciding to move him, right?
Is
Because
that what it
that's why
was?
Doc. Yeah, because that's why Dr. Loomis and Marion was going there, right? Because he was going to get transferred. Nancy Stevens plays Marion Chambers,
Oh,
by
Nancy
the way.
Stevens. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I know it kind of goes with the movie, but I seen a meme on one of the horror groups on Facebook. That was like, you would think after like 10 movies, they'd quit trying to move this guy on Halloween night and do it a different night, bro. That's
Agreed.
probably all you got to do is just do it any other 364 nights of the year. But no, they want to do it on
Right?
Halloween when he's
Yeah.
got these magic powers. No, I'm just kidding. But so they're driving down the road and they see like they look confused and like you can they see it before we do obviously, and you see a bunch of white gown people just roaming around outside and it's pitch black and it's raining in that scene, ain't it?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And they're like, what is going on? So Loomis gets out to go check it out, and Nurse Chambers is like, she's like, she knows, she knows something's weird's going on. And like, as soon as Donald Pleasance gets out the car, or Loomis, I'll refer to him as Loomis. As
Yeah.
Loomis gets out the car and runs away, you hear like skirt, and it's Michael jumping up on the friggin' car, and she hears him, so she's like hiding, and she's like got her back up against the car door, and you just see his big white hand, and it kind of like it almost looked like he lines it up. He goes boom, and just literally he don't even like close his fist. He just slaps it and breaks it.
Yeah.
And you guys, I haven't really flexed these on the podcast. I mean, I know you've seen them, but I mean, I've got the horror ink, bro. I've got the Michael right there, dog.
Yes.
Got the Michael house and the Michael. There'll be more. I'll show them to y'all as I get them, but probably not for a while. But yeah, he slaps the thing, and when he does that, she goes to the other side, and he breaks the other window too, don't he? He breaks both windows on the side, or is it only one?
I don't remember, to be
I
honest.
thought it was both of them. But
Probably
anyways,
then.
after he breaks the window, she like kind of like slides out, and that's when he kind of like steals the car and skirts away. And that Loomis sees her, and he goes and checks on her.
Yeah.
And that is how that Michael Myers escaped. He let everybody out and then stole the doctor's car.
Right.
Infamous getaway. But yeah, after that, don't let me forget. I want to look up a statistic on Halloween because I think it's actually surprising how little Michael's in this movie. I think he's only in like 10 minutes of the movie out of the whole thing, like 14 minutes or something.
Oh yeah, it was like they said he was in it the because a lot of people were complaining that he wasn't in Halloween Ends that much, and they were saying that he was in the original even less.
Yeah, bro, that's right. That's where I heard it because everybody was like, "Why y'all saying y'all like Halloween Ends? Michael's not even in it for the first hour and a half." And I remember it was like somebody had like corrected him. It was like actually Michael Myers appears less in the original. And I was like, bro, that's crazy. He kind of like shut all them haters up.
Yeah.
But after that, it cuts to Laurie, right? It's
Yes.
Laurie cuts to her. She's not at school yet. I was about to say at school.
No, she's walking it, isn't she?
Yeah, she's walking. She's leaving her house, right? Because it's her dad that stops her. And he's like, "Well, you drop this key off at the old Myers house."
Yep.
And she's like, "Well, sure." And she's walking down the road, and like you can tell right off the bat, she's gonna be the main girl. And let me say, this is Jamie Lee Curtis' debut film role. I
Yes.
didn't know that. I thought she had done other stuff before Halloween.
No, this was it. This was her start, and it made her a star.
Oh, this is what makes her the number one final girl.
Yep.
Well, people say she's up there with Sydney Prescott, but I don't know.
Yeah, she's the OG though, man.
Yeah, I
She's
mean, she's up there, but let's face it, Scream, you ain't got nothing on Halloween. I mean, you're good, but you won't never be Michael good. But she agrees to take the key, and I've been talking a lot. You want to go over the next part?
so she puts the mailbox in the I mean the key in the mailbox. I said mailbox in the
It's
key.
yeah, it's the mail slot in the door.
Yeah, she puts the keys in there. And Michael's looking at her from inside, right?
Yeah, and one thing, how did she not like see him through the window?
Right?
Like, I mean, yeah, she wasn't looking, but I feel like that'd be one of them things like you catch out of the corner of your eye. Like, what the freak, dude?
Oh yeah, yeah, it would catch your eye easy, yeah. I don't know.
But you know, for the plot of the movie, I guess it wouldn't make sense. I
Yeah,
get it, but
yeah.
no.
And then Tommy's like, don't you know the book that isn't that the boogeyman's house? Right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. See, Tommy knows what's up.
he
Everybody kind
does.
of seems to know what's up. It's kind of like he's like a not so urban legend, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, but yeah, like Tommy's walking with her, and he says he's talking about how she's gonna babysit him tonight, and how he wants to watch scary movies, and how he wants to carve jack o' lanterns, and he's
yes.
super ready. And she's like, "Yeah." super ready for it. She's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to. And then they split up, and she just goes into the school, right? Ain't that it?
Yeah. Hmm.
And does it show anything with Loomis, or does it go straight? I think it goes straight to the school scene, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because the part I'm thinking about don't happen till later.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's there and she's sitting there. She's sitting in the back of the room. She's like in the back corner, I remember, right
Yeah.
next to the window. And she's just studying and she's like got her arm and she looks over and like you just see the car and you just see Michael standing behind it and like the car is covering all of them except for like right here. All you can see is that big old pretty white mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And then she looks down at the paper and she looks up and poof, the whole car and the dude's gone.
Yeah.
Right at that time, she gets called on by the teacher. And bro, that's how you know Lori's one of them smart kids, dog. Because you know she wasn't listening, but she
I know
still
she
knew the
absolutely
answer.
wasn't. Yeah.
Bro, she's like, yeah, I know the answer, teacher.
Yeah. True.
It's like when the teacher calls on you because they think you're not paying attention, but then you know the answer anyway. And you're like, huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have many of those moments, but I had a couple. But yeah, after that, it cuts to I was gonna say Lori leaving school, but there's one little part before that, right, where the kids are bullying Tommy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
That
he's
happens
carrying the
before,
jack o'
right?
lantern. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
and it's like you can tell like Tommy's that step right below, like it's too cool to go trick or treating. Like
Yeah.
the kids right above him, like, yeah, we ain't going trick or treating. That's for babies.
Yeah.
You can really tell because they're bullying Tommy about having the jack o' lantern. They're pushing him around, and he's like, they're like, you know what happened on Halloween, right? He's like, yeah, you get candy. He's like, no. He's like, it's when the boogeyman comes to get you, and they're like, the boogeyman's coming, the boogeyman, and then it shows that one of the kids' feet tripping Tommy, and Tommy kind of like falls onto a pumpkin and crushes
Yeah.
it.
Destroys it, dude. I always thought it was cool that one of those boys is Lonnie, and then he's in the new timeline. That was just
Yeah,
I thought it was cool
that
the way
was
they
really
did that.
good.
Yeah.
And probably the first big jump scare, Tommy runs off the campus and like he runs straight into Michael, bro. Michael like grabs him by the arms and he stops me like, kid, quit running. That's how you get hit by a car. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, Michael honestly seems like he cares at first because he really did stop that kid from running. He
Yeah.
didn't even kill him, bro.
Yeah.
But anyways, what he does next is it kind of like, yeah, what are you doing, dog? You're kind of a creeper. But
Yeah.
he gets
Really.
in the car and he kind of like slowly creeps. And I just want to say, weirdly close to where I don't see how that kid does not know he's following him. Like,
Right.
bro, he's followed like there's really not even 5 foot between them. Honestly, on like no lie, there's not even 5 foot between them. And the kid don't like. Did your parents not teach you stranger danger, bro?
Right. Yeah. That kid is not aware of his surroundings at all.
Hey, Michael. I think the main reason Michael picks Halloween is that's honestly think about it. That's how he can get away with being out in public, that mask, bro. Because nobody thinks to
True.
check people with a mask on Halloween.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and most people like you'll see later on in the franchise when he escapes, but like if it wasn't for that mask, you could just post his mugshot up and boom, they could get him like real quick.
Right, dude. Me and you wore our Myers mask for Halloween, and it was awesome. But we couldn't do that any other day, you know.
Yeah. I really don't like it because like I have these masks like I like to wear them out. I know it's gonna make me look
Right.
really stupid, dog, but I don't care. Dude, these masks get compliments.
Yes, they do.
But anyways, he's following the kid, right? And after he follows the kid, what 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 is it right after that? What makes him stop following the kid? Do you remember? Like initially
Uh,
right after that.
Doesn't he start stalking Lori again and her two friends? Yeah.
Um,
So-
oh, one quick thing before we go any further. One part that we forgot. We didn't forget about much, but there's a scene. So it shows them back at the sanitarium, and it's
Yeah.
Loomis and the other doctor from the sanitarium, and they're talking about how Michael escaped, and the dude's like he couldn't have been driving. He like obviously the kid's been in there since he was 6. He was
Yeah.
like nobody taught him how to drive, and he said, well, by God, he didn't learn overnight. And he was like, well, somebody taught him because he was driving fine last night.
Yeah, and I'm glad they addressed that. That was
Yeah,
cool how they
yeah.
put that in there because if they wouldn't put that in there, a lot of people would have been like, "Well, how can he drive?"
Yeah, most horror
Which,
movies for real would have been like, nah, we're just gonna ignore that. He can just
yeah,
drive. He's just built like that.
yeah,
It's just like a perk you get for being in a horror movie. You just know how to drive a car.
yeah. I like that they addressed that.
But yeah,
Said what fans
I
would
did
say.
forget about that part. Another part. So like Loomis has been studying this kid for 15 years. He knows where he's going before he
Yeah,
even escaped. He knows he's going to Haddonfield, and like it showed, uh, Loomis stopped at a broken down tow truck,
yeah,
and he like sees Michael's hospital gown. That's how he knows he's going the right direction. But what
hmm,
Loomis didn't see in the weeds was the mechanic's dead body. That's where Michael got the coveralls from.
yeah,
Small part we forgot that kind of explains where he got the coveralls from.
yeah,
See, they do a good job. They make it to where you know how he got everything. He just don't pop up with a friggin' mask and a jumpsuit and a knife and like, yeah, I just found it.
yeah,
But yeah, a couple small parts I forgot. But anyway, let's get back to the part. So after Tommy runs into Michael and all that, it cuts to Lori leaving school, right? And she
yeah.
meets up with the girls.
Hmm. Yeah. Pretty sure.
And they're leaving and they're all talking. And I remember Lori's carrying all these books and she's complaining about it. Linda's like, I just don't take any of them. Like I just don't even worry about it because Linda's the cheerleader. You got your classic stereotypes. Lori's the nerdy girl.
Yeah.
Linda's the cheerleader slut. What would Annie be though? She's just the like she could pull Bob, but like I don't think she could do better than that. She's not that cute, if I must say so myself.
She's kind of the
Anyway,
stoner, man, right?
yeah, we'll get to that. That
Yeah.
I like that part.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not sure what you would classify her as, though, to be honest.
yeah, me neither. I don't know. She kind of like goes off the scale from the horror meta.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're walking and they're all talking like their plans for the night. So Lori's the goody goody. She don't go out and date. She babysits. They were saying how she baby like she should have enough money for what was it? I don't remember what they were saying, but she was like, you should be rich with all the babysitting you doing because you don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Linda ain't babysitting nobody. She's gonna be hanging out with her boyfriend Bob all night, and she wants a house to use so they can get down and dirty.
Yeah.
And Annie was supposed to be going out with Bob.
No, Bob is Linda's, right?
Oh yeah,
Boyfriend?
why did I say Bob?
I
Who is
know.
it?
Um, I don't remember his name.
Paul. Sorry,
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah. She's supposed to be going out with Paul, but
But
he
Paul
got
got
grounded.
grounded. Yeah,
Yeah. So now she's gonna be
for
babysitting.
egging somebody's house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See, I was worried I wasn't gonna be able to remember these small parts, but once I got in tune with it, bro, I can watch the movie in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
But
what like as you're talking about it, I'm
yeah,
seeing it in my head. Yeah.
but they're walking, and so the so let's go over like their plan for the night without Michael involved. So Linda needs a place for her and Bob.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot one thing. Annie's going to be babysitting
Lindsay.
Lindsay,
Lindsay Wallace.
and Lori's going to be babysitting Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
So Annie's plan is to take Lindsay over to Lori so Lori can watch both the kids so Annie can go get Paul.
Yeah, but that happens later, right? Because at that
Yeah,
moment she
because
thinks that
at
Paul's
that
grounded.
moment Paul's grounded, so that
Yeah.
kind of gets pushed to the side.
Yeah.
But the idea was now Linda don't know where she's gonna screw around with Bob because she don't know if Annie's gonna be leaving the house alone because that's Linda and Bob's plan was to sneak into Lindsay's parents' home while they weren't there and
Yeah.
get freaky in Lindsay's parents' bed, which I think is very disrespectful. Do you
Very, yeah.
think people actually did that back in the day?
Yes, I do.
Did you do it?
No, no, not me. No. But I do think people did, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, they split up, and when they split up, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what happened right after they split up.
Well, first, doesn't Michael pass them in the car and the girl's like,
You're
slow down.
right, dude. Okay, yeah,
Like, my dad's the sheriff. And she like yells at him, right? And
yeah.
then he puts on the
Hey,
brakes.
jerk, speed kills, and then
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
and then you're like, oh God, what's about to happen? Then he just
Yeah.
keeps going. She's like, guess he can't take a joke.
Yeah.
Who's the new student's name that they mistaken him for? Can you tell me?
Oh man. Oh,
Because at first they're like, "Ooh, is that new guy? Something, something. He's totally hot." And Lori's like, "I don't think so, you guys." Like, Lori already knows that they're kind of being stalked, bro. She knows something's up.
yeah. I was thinking of Ben Tramer, but that's not. That's who he. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something for later.
Yeah.
Um. Uh.
But then not too long after that, Linda goes her separate way, right?
Yeah, they get to Linda's house, and then it's just them two.
Yeah. And then she sees Michael standing by a bush.
Yes, and they stop, and then he's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Oh, the bush. It's I don't know if she said it's that guy, but she says something. And then he goes over there and she like slaps the bush and he's gone. And she don't say nothing, but she's like, Lori, he wants to talk to you. He wants to take you out tonight. And she
Yeah.
walks over there. She's like holding her book. She's like, it's not funny. And then, okay, does the car scene come in after this?
No, no, I thought it. Oh well, no. Next, doesn't her dad Lee Brackett, the sheriff, stop and ask if they want to ride?
Yeah.
Or is that in the? And she doesn't. Lori doesn't get in, right? Or is that? Am I thinking of the remake?
No, you're right.
Okay,
But see, what I'm confused.
I know which one you're talking about. The one where,
Does
uh,
that happen after the scene at Lori's house with the phone call?
yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure because Annie comes and picks her up.
Yeah, okay. Because what we're trying to figure out is okay, there's a scene after Annie and Lori are done walking, Lori gets home.
Yeah, because Sheriff Brackett stops and asks if they want to ride, and Lori's like no, but of course Annie takes a ride. I'm pretty sure, and she goes, and then Lori goes home. And then doesn't Annie call her and tell her that about the date with Ben Tramer? I know they talk about it later.
Nah, nah,
Anyway, somehow
no.
they end up in the
Because
car together.
remember, Lori don't even mention Ben Tramer till the at the night. But
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
there's an Easter egg I want to go over. And if you don't know it, I'm gonna be very surprised.
Hmm.
It's very easy to miss because it's really not focused in on in the movie. But when it first shows Lori's room, it pans over a doll.
Is
And
it the Annabelle doll?
what?
Okay.
I don't know. No, dude, it's actually really crazy because it's the doll that she has all the way in the beginning of Resurrection.
Oh, okay.
You remember what I'm talking about? That little red-haired yarn doll. It's
Oh
like
yeah, it's a Raggedy
not
Ann
like a
doll, right?
yeah. Dude, there's one on
Yeah.
her shelf in the original. And then she has one all the way in Resurrection, which is crazy.
Oh yeah. Because I told
I
when we
thought
watched it last time, I told Trina, I was like, "That's what the original Annabelle doll almost looked like."
yeah, but I thought that was super cool how like it was in the original and then they had it all the way like 6 movies later.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
super crazy. But anyways, um,
Yeah. Those dolls were big back in those days. Even when I was a kid, everyone loved Raggedy Ann.
but she's standing at the window, she's doing something, and she sees Michael standing behind the sheets blowing in the wind. She kind of like looks
Yes.
down for a second, like spooked, and she looks back up and he's gone. Like poof.
Yeah.
He's like friggin' Houdini up in here.
Yeah. Okay. And then when they end up in the car together, is Annie comes to take her to Tommy Doyle's house while she's going to Lindsay's because
Uh,
they across the yeah because
yeah, because
Lindsay's is
yeah,
across from Tommy's, and then that's when they're the part that we were talking about earlier.
she tells her that because Lori gets a phone call and I guess the line's bad on the first one, so like Lori gets really spooked because she had just seen somebody outside.
Yeah.
So she hangs it up and she picks it up and she's like, "Whoever's doing this, you need to stop or something." It's
Yeah.
saying like, "Bro, chill."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right. That's what they was talking about. So then it shows they're in the car together, right?
Yeah.
Is that when it is? Hang on. I gotta save the first half of this just so we don't lose it. We're good. But yeah, it cuts to after that. It most definitely is the 70s because Lori and
Yes.
Annie rolling down the road, smoking a J.
Yep. Yep. Smoking a spliff.
Oh yeah, I loved it. And like you can tell like Annie's the stoner, like the bad girl that really don't care. Like she's the sheriff's daughter, so like if she gets in trouble, they're just be like, go home.
Yep.
Lori's the goody goody that like she'll do it with her friends, but like she don't have to do it if she's by herself because Lori grabs it and she hits it and that
Yeah.
and dude like as she's coughing, Annie's like, my dad. And she's
Yeah.
like, put it out, put it out. Meanwhile, Lori's still over here freaking coughing her brains out. She's like, be quiet. You're gonna get us busted. Meanwhile, this is that scene that I was talking about that I didn't know when it came in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, I didn't know that's what they were doing until you just said that, honestly.
Yeah. Yes. They were
I
smoking
just
a
thought it
German.
was in there to like explain where Michael got the stuff because what it is they pull up and it's like the hardware store.
Had
The
been broken
hard
into.
yeah, had been broken into, and it's Annie's dad, the sheriff Lee Brackett, and it's um they were like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "These darn kids," and she's like, "You blame everything on kids." And he's like, "Well, the only thing they stole was some rope, a couple of knives, and a Halloween mask."
Yep. And you can't tell me that he didn't smell that Mary
Bro,
Jane.
this must be the most dirt weed that Annie could find, bro. She's literally pulling it out the ground and smoking it. And the bad part is, I don't even know why Lori be coughing that hard over it, dog.
Right.
Or maybe he just don't care. Maybe he lets her do it. I mean, I mean, people always be saying that, but that could have been a possibility. Maybe he just didn't care.
Yeah. True.
Maybe he smelled it and just was like, okay, she's smoking weed. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's the 70s, bro. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The late
And
70s.
now soon, right? It shows. Or did we already pass it? Soon, doesn't it show Loomis at the cemetery and he sees the missing tombstone?
That's uh that's
Is that next?
that's next. Because
Thought
after
so.
the girls pull off, Loomis walks up to sheriff and he's like, this is urgent, need to speak with you like right away. He's like, I'm kind of cleaning something up. He's like, sir. And he's like, all right, give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And dude, the balls on this dude. So Loomis is not facing where he needs to be. He could be ending this movie way before it's supposed to be over. Michael drives right by him, and you know it's him because as he's going by, he goes,
Yeah, he looks at
He
him.
just
Yeah,
looks over. He's like,
yeah, he's following the
he's like,
girls.
uh-oh. Like a kid just trying to see how long he can make it before he gets caught.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, after that, we'll go ahead and say it's that cemetery part. And it's Loomis walking with Sid Haig, bro, from the Devil's Rejects, ain't it?
Oh no, that's in the remake.
That's right.
Yeah, that's Malcolm McDowell with Sid Haig. Yeah, that's in Rob Zombie's Halloween, which is pretty epic though.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's three different timelines. There's three different scenes of this, sir. Because if I'm not mistaken, there's one with Loomis. There's one with the British guys that will come to later in the channel, and there's Malcolm McDowell. So sorry if I can't remember all of them.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, actually, that part is infamous now saying that because it does make an appearance in every timeline.
Yeah, yeah, and then they realize that the tombstone's gone. Dude, how strong is Michael to have lifted that up himself? Those things are heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think he even did with it until he did what he does with it?
I guess he just carried it there and got it ready.
Just was
But
like in the back seat, like
right, yeah, he had to put because I was about to. Yeah, he had the car because I was about to say someone didn't see him walking down the road with a big tombstone. But yeah, he probably put it in the car. And,
but yeah, they go to it, and there's no dead animal in this one, is there? Is there a dead animal cross on this one, or is it just in Rob Zombies?
no, I think there is a dead animal when Sheriff Brackett and Dr. Loomis go to the house, but it doesn't really show it. But they're like, there's just something like, who would do that? And Lee
Oh
Brackett's
yeah.
like kids, and he's like, that wasn't kids or something.
So um, what, dude? I'm having a rough time right here. So the cemetery scene, they see that the tombstone's gone, and it's that animal, the not the animal thing, but it cuts to what does it cut to right after that?
You know, the cemetery scene might have been before he Dr. Loomis seen him because Lee Brackett wasn't with him at the cemetery. Yeah. But anyway, so after we'll just go
Anyway,
after they see each other at the place, then doesn't it pretty much dark and um well she drops Lori off at Tommy's
yeah,
house. Yeah,
yeah.
and then she goes to Lindsay's and then it's dark.
Isn't this where it shows Loomis? Haven't we passed when Loomis and Sheriff go in Michael's house?
Yeah, it's close to there, yeah. Cause after it's probably the next part because he goes to the store and he's talking to Lee Brackett and then he's like, give me 10 minutes. So after that, yeah, they probably head to the house.
Yeah. So they they get to the house and they go in and they're making sure he's not there. So they get upstairs and they see the dead animal that we was talking about.
Yeah. Mhm.
And you said Lee Brackett blamed it on kids,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I'm
Loomis
pretty
was
sure.
like, "No, he got hungry."
Yes. Yeah.
And then you're like,
That's gross.
"Oh, like, bro, you're still human. Why not eat like McDonald's?
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
Halloween. You don't have to like if you're wearing a mask. Well, I mean, he don't have money. Do you think the
True.
car had money in it?
It could have, but I don't think he would have known. Well, maybe.
I mean, I don't think we really need to dive that deep
No.
into it. But
I
anyways,
think food is the least of his worries.
yeah, but they're checking it out, and there really ain't nothing there. Don't they find a picture or no?
I thought that isn't that at the end, like at the tombstone with Linda.
No.
I don't know. Anyway,
Anyway, wow, this it went from like really good to really bad really fast. So we were killing it in the beginning, but now it's like, oof.
no, it's fine. Let's just go to okay. It's nighttime. Lee Brackett doesn't really believe Loomis. He doesn't believe that he would be there, but Loomis
Yeah.
talks him into reluctantly patrolling the area for
Yeah,
Michael.
and Lee Brackett has to go take care of some stuff, and Loomis is like, "Well, I'm gonna stay here just in case he comes back."
Yeah. And then it shows it moves
Lori
to Lori going
babysitting
so
Tommy. And
yes.
this is where it gets a little bit easier because they're watching a movie. Derek, do you know what they're watching?
Yeah, they're watching the thing, right?
The original
The
thing
original one from the 50s, yeah.
that I wonder if John Carpenter knew at the time that he'd be doing his own the thing.
Right? I don't know. His is the best though.
Like I wonder, I wonder like putting that on if he knew he was gonna be doing his own in that time.
Maybe.
But
Maybe that's why they put it that he was watching it. He might have been working on it.
but yeah, it shows her babysitting Tommy. And what do they do first? They're just sitting there watching the movie.
Yeah, and then they start carving a pumpkin, right?
I thought he gets out those magazines first that his mom
He
don't know
does.
happen.
Yep, yep.
Because he's like, I'm bored or something. And she's like, watch the movie. He's like, but I don't want to watch it. No, I'm skipping a part. I'm skipping a part, skipping a part, skipping a part, skipping a part. What part comes first before that? They're sitting there and what do they talk about first, bro? I can't remember.
The boogeyman, right? She asked him if the boogeyman's real. I mean, he asked her if the
Oh,
boogeyman's
yeah,
real.
because he's like,
The boogeyman only comes out if you don't trick or treat, the boogeyman will get you.
oh, no, I remember. He's like, because he kind of comes out of nowhere. He's like, what's the boogeyman? He's like, make believe. And he's like, but he's gonna come and get me. And she's like, who told you that? He was like,
Lonnie.
Lonnie. And she's like, do you believe everything Lonnie tells you? He's like, well, no. She's like, well, all right then. And he's like, but he's real, ain't she? And she just like blows him off because
Yeah.
what happens that she was able to blow him off? Does the phone
The
ring?
phone rang, right? And it was Annie. Because now her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, because we missed the part where like Lindsay's watching the movie and Annie calls her. It's right there.
Yeah.
Annie calls
Yeah.
Lori.
They're
She
watching
spills
the
something on her
same.
pants.
Yeah, they're watching the same part.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just doing the introduction to like both the babysitting scenes. Let's say it like that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of doing the rundown like the house and like showing the kids again that well, we've done seen Tommy, but I think this is the first time we're seeing Lindsay, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, dude, this is gonna be a long one. But so Annie's watching the movie and not Annie's not watching the movie. Annie's in the kitchen.
Yeah, making popcorn or something.
Yeah, she's making popcorn. She's getting her something to drink too. And I don't remember what she was doing, but she ends up dumping.
The dog scares her, right?
Yeah, that's right. The dog comes in and scares her and makes her spill it.
Yeah, and she's like, Lindsay, get the dog.
Yeah, Lindsay, get the dog. And she's on the phone. I
Yep.
forgot because
The whole time she's talking to Lori. Yeah.
yeah, the whole time she's talking to Lori and she's like, great. And I'm about to get chewed up by the family dog or something like that.
Yeah.
And his name is Max, actually.
Yeah.
And she comes and gets the dog and or does she? Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And comes and gets the dog. And what do they start talking about?
Just talking about
Because Annie don't know that she's going out with Paul yet.
yeah, she doesn't know. And I think she's just like, she's gotta go wash her pants.
Oh yeah, she just tells her that she's got to go throw it in the wash.
Yeah. And
So
she gets stuck in the laundry room, which is outside.
yeah, so she goes out there and she throws her. She's putting the laundry in, and the door shuts. And when she tries to go back out, she realizes it's locked.
Yeah.
So she's beating on the door, and Lindsay can't hear her. Lindsay's into this movie, bro. Lindsay is like digging it.
Yeah. I have
So
that movie on VHS also.
she
The original
tries.
thing.
I have the John Carpenter one on DVD on Blu-ray, but I think Sarah's
Same.
got it. But She tries to crawl out the window, like saying she gets stuck. Well, the reason Lindsay finds her is because Paul calls again. Well, no, Paul calls, not again.
Yeah, that's the first
Paul
time he
calls,
calls.
and Lindsay's like, she's washing her clothes. Like,
Yeah.
Lindsay's not about to take her this phone. But Paul's like, I'm the stud. She'll just take her the phone.
Yeah.
So she hollers. She's like, Lindsay, Paul's on the phone. Then you hear her go, ow. She just screams, ow. She goes and checks. She's like, Lindsay opens the door. You locked yourself in.
Yeah, and she's stuck in the window.
Yeah, she's stuck in the window. So she's like, move my foot. She moves her foot and she can get out. And as she's walking out, she's like, you better not say anything about this. Well, Lindsay barely beats her to the phone. She's like, here she comes. She got stuck in the what'd she say? She got stuck in the door. She said something like that. She got
Stuck
stuck
in the window.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuck in the window. And she's like, hello. She's like, he's like, stuck in the window. She's like, uh yeah, and then she makes a really bad, dirty joke. She's like, something about you being stuck somewhere. And
And that's when he tells her that his parents are out of town or they're gone for the night, so she can come and get him.
yeah. And she was like, I have to wait for my clothes to finish. And what does he say right after that? Because I know she says something and she's like, why don't we quit talking about the things and get to doing them or something like that? They really just be hyping each other up about sex later tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and
But
then that's when she gets off the phone and calls Lori again and asks if she can bring little Lindsay over, little Lindsay Wallace.
yep. And then after that, does Annie do the sit down with Lindsay and like, how would you like to go
Yeah,
watch this movie with
with
Tommy
Tommy.
Doyle? And Lindsay's like, yeah.
Yeah,
So she takes her over to Tommy's house.
yeah.
She like, here you go. Really just an exchange. Annie don't really say a whole lot, does she?
No.
And then she leaves and she just goes straight to the car, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she walks back over, goes,
So
gets in the
yeah,
car.
she goes back across the street. She goes in the garage and she goes in the car. And if you notice, like the windows are like really foggy, which is weird because it's like in the garage. It's only like the kind of fog, like that
Breath.
would happen, like if breath was in there, like
Yeah.
breathing really hard.
Mm-hmm.
But she just gets in and she goes to start the car, and whenever she does, dude, Michael just lunges out and strangles her to death, right?
Yeah, and then cuts her throat, strangles her from behind and cuts her
Yeah,
throat.
so yeah, as he's strangling her, she like beeping the horn, and that's when he like gives her the old slit to the throat.
The old Colombian necktie.
And that's when she just lays on the horn. Michael don't even care. You would think Michael like move her off the horn.
Yeah, he doesn't
Like,
care.
bro, let him here. I don't even care. Let him
Yeah,
come for me.
yeah,
So yeah, Annie's dead, unfortunately.
yep.
And after that, that's when it cuts to
Linda and
Linda and
Bob roll up,
Bob
right? Yeah,
in their van.
yeah, pulling up to Lindsay Wallace's house.
And they're talking and L-
They
Lin
go inside. Huh,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, Linda don't get on the phone in the van, does she?
No, they go
They're just
inside and she.
talking and he walks he's like they think Annie's there, so they're like, we
Yeah.
have to be quiet so we don't let the kids know we're here. He's like, all right, I got the plan. I'm gonna rip your clothes off. You're gonna rip my clothes off, and then we're gonna rip Annie's clothes off. And I was like, dude, what?
No, dude, he said Lindsay's. Pretty sure, didn't he? Because I always thought that
He
that was really
did,
wild.
didn't he? Because
Yeah,
I almost said Lindsay, and I was like, no, that's the kid.
yeah, but
And I was
that's what he
like,
says.
wait,
Yeah. Every
why,
time I hear that, I
why
cringe.
does he say that?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was trying to be funny, and back in the '70s, it was oh ha ha ha. You can't say that now.
Dude, I never caught that.
Yeah, the last time I
Oh
watched it,
no.
me and Trina was watching it, and we just couldn't believe it. We were like, "Whoa,
Jeez, Bob.
yeah, Bob, you're canceled, Bob, canceled."
But yeah, one thing that aggravates me when Bob walks around to the van and he like picks up Lindsay, they leave that van door open, and you already know there that van battery's finna be dead when they get back out there.
Yeah,
They didn't even think about it because when they leave, you can clearly see that the freaking door is wide open.
yeah,
But they get in there and it's all dark, and they're like, Lindsay's not here, or Annie and Lindsay's not here.
yeah.
So they're laying there on the couch, and do they lay on the couch first?
Yeah, and Linda calls Lori
Yeah, that's right. And she gets
and
the
asks where
rundown.
Annie is. She's like, she should be back. She went to get Paul. And she was like, Lindsay's here. And then when she gets on the phone, she's like, good news, Lindsay's gone for the night.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then they move their party upstairs.
To someone else's bedroom, which you said earlier is disrespectful, and it really is.
Yeah. Pretty dirty, dude. But
Yeah.
is there anything that happens in between like the cut before and after sex? Or does it do that part fully first?
Yeah, I think it does that part. It doesn't, it like
Oh, where
shows.
Michael carries Annie and Tommy Caesar? Is that next or is it
Yes.
after?
Oh, that was before Linda and them got there because Tommy's looking out. Or maybe it was
Oh,
like right after the, yeah, and he sees him carrying Annie.
yeah, because Tommy thinks it's gonna be funny, haha, because it's Halloween too. While Lindsay's watching the movie, he goes over there and hides behind the curtain, and he's like,
Yes. Because they're trying to
Lindsay,
scare each other. Yeah.
Lindsay, and then she's like, "Who's there?" He turns around, and it's just Michael carrying Annie inside the house, and like he kind of forgets that he's supposed to be scaring Lindsay, and they kind of bump into each other, and they both scream, and he's like, "Hi, the boogeyman's outside." And
Yeah.
it really gets Annie even more scared. And Lori's like, "Stop, you're scaring Lindsay. And if you keep it up, I'm gonna have to cut the movie off." And he's like, "But
Yeah.
the boogeyman really was outside, dude. We're about to get kicked out again."
I know. Yeah, but Lori ain't wanting to hear it, man. She's like, there's no boogeyman. Stop. You're scaring Lindsay.
But there actually is. But anyways, let's get back to the part that we were on before we missed another part. So they get upstairs, they do their whole shindig thing, and it's
Hmm.
like the aftermath, and she's sitting up, she's smoking a cigarette. And she's like, "Go get me a beer," and he's like, "You go get me a beer." And I don't know why he thought that was gonna work.
Right?
Because he was the one that ended up getting up to go get it.
Yeah, of course.
And here is one of the most infamous slash questionable deaths in the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
Because Bob makes it all the way outside to get the beer. Can't do it on you can't do it on camera on YouTube. You get in big trouble for that. But
So Bob,
yeah, if you guys can't tell, there's gonna be little cuts in between. We are recording this on Zoom right now because we're working on getting another thing. This is what we're gonna do, Derek. We're gonna do next episode is not gonna be on Zoom, okay? That's our goal for this week
okay.
is to get that new thing set up that Katrina was talking about. But yeah, back to the movie. So Bob, what were you saying about Bob?
So Bob, he goes down and gets the beer.
Indeed he does.
And then he meets old Michael on the way.
Back up.
Yes.
Because as he he thinks he heard a noise, right? So he like checks the closet,
Yeah.
and then he checks, and when he turns around, bruh, Michael full on sticks the it's a butcher knife. Not
Yes.
like a meat cleaver, it's just one of the big butcher knives.
Hmm.
And he just sticks him so hard that he's able to elevate him and stick. This is why it's one of the most infamous, but also to some people the most, what's the word?
Unrealistic.
Unrealistic. Because everybody's problem, how does it go all the way through a human body and enough through the wall to support the whole body
Yeah, I can see that.
with enough that you can still see the blade sticking out of his body on the other end?
Agreed. Yeah, I can see that.
I
But I
mean,
love the movie so much I don't really care.
it don't matter just because even though like it's impossible, it doesn't take away from it at all.
No, no,
Like your
doesn't take away
first
from
time,
it.
like I guarantee anybody watching that their first time, unless you were a critic and unless you were looking out things that you didn't like about it, you would not think about this until you read about it.
Yeah,
Because I never thought about it until I watched Dead Meat and he said something
right.
about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he just kind of leaves him there as a decoration for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of see PJ and you're like, well, Linda, I'm sorry, I call her PJ. But you see her and she's just like chilling there and you're like, what's he gonna do with her? So the door opens and she looks up and it's Ghost Bob,
Yeah, Ghost Bob.
which is Michael underneath a sheet that he had hidden himself under and put Bob's glasses on to make her think it was Bob pulling a prank.
Yeah,
So she was like, did you get my beer? And he just like lifts it up and he like throws it at her. She's like, God.
yeah. She's
And
not happy.
so she's like, this is what Nick Castle said in the newest one. She like, see anything you like, and she lowers the sheets, and this is where you like see her boobs.
Yeah,
And he's just still standing there, and she's like, whatever. I'm gonna call Lori, see if she's heard from Annie. And as she's like getting up, and she turns around, and she goes to make the call. As it's ringing, you see Michael slowly creep up to behind her. And right as Lori answers, he wraps the phone cord around her neck
yeah,
and starts choking her out with it. So obviously, all Lori hears is her like groaning and gasping for air. She thinks that Linda caught her while her and Bob were doing it and just messing with her.
yes,
So she's like,
yeah,
"All right, you two, knock it off." And she don't hang up. She just sits there and she kind of starts to get worried. And then Linda's dead, and Michael picks up the phone. He's like, "Hello, who this?" No, I'm just kidding. Dude, it's just that
that
infamous
would be funny.
breathing. Just that infamous breathing. He's like,
Yeah,
that did that make it louder or not?
yeah, it did.
Did it matter?
No, yeah, it
Okay.
made it louder. Yeah,
Okay. But yeah, after I mean obviously he don't say nothing to her. Michael's not known for saying stuff.
no,
But yeah, after that, it's Lori starts to get worried and she looks out the window and she sees all the lights are off. And the kids are put to bed. And does she go over there right away or does she
Ye-
like
no,
does she,
yeah, I think she decides to go over there and check.
so all right, this is where we start the finale, the I in this on this podcast, I want to come up with my own name. I'm gonna call it the Final Girl finale,
Okay,
which is the thing in not all slasher movies, but most slasher movies. The final girl, if it's I won't say okay, I won't say a slasher movie is if it's like a who done it and like people aren't witnessing these kills. The final girl will go around the area, finding them one by one as the killer has displayed them, or just finding them as they left them. In this case, Michael did some decorating.
he really did.
So it starts out, she walks upstairs and we find out what Michael did with his sister's tombstone. It's she walks in and Annie's laying on the bed and she's
Linda, right? Is
Annie.
oh,
Are
okay, okay.
you sure?
No, you're probably right.
No, we
For
gotta
some reason, I was
find
thinking
out
Linda.
now. See, I was just thinking that because they had a shirt on and it looked like that button up that Annie had on because I don't think he would have put a shirt on Linda just to
True,
display her. I
true.
mean, maybe. I mean, if he's weird like that.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm probably thinking of the Rob Zombie remake. I watched those recently too.
Searches where he goes to Wallace house and finds her friends' bodies as well as Judith's head. No, I don't even say, bro. But I'm pretty sure it's Andy just for the fact I don't think that Michael would put a shirt on Linda.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd care enough. She's already dead. But she finds that and she's like, oh my God. So she like slowly starts tumbling back. And that's when, okay, the first thing that went through my head was, why do they have automatic cabinets in 1978? That's not even a thing now.
What is it?
Get close to a cabinet and boom, automatically opens. Because that's what happens in Halloween. So listen, after Laurie finds Annie's body, I'm sure some people noticed it, but I noticed it bad this time. I'd never noticed it like this hard before. She backs up into the corner because when she finds, yeah, Annie's body was laying on the thing because it's Linda's body she finds next. And actually, I was completely wrong. Michael did put a shirt on her. He just didn't button it up. So
Okay.
my bad. Sorry. But she creeps up and dude, she doesn't touch it because it's like a pull-out cabinet. It's got two handles. It just opens straight up. The doors open straight up. So
Yeah.
she backs into the left door. She don't even touch that other door. And then as soon as she backs up, give it a second, the thing just shoots open. It don't even like slowly open. It slowly opens, but it does it like at a weird speed. Like it don't weirdly just creep open. It's like
Oh,
it looks like an automatic cabinet, bro.
yeah.
And then it's like Linda laying there and she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
And after that, she screams again, and that's when she backs into an open doorway, and Bob's body comes like flipping back and forth, and
Yeah.
that makes her stumble into another corner, which is probably my favorite shot in the entire movie. It's just super creepy, bro. And let me tell you, I watched this at like 6:30 in the morning. So let me tell you, it was still dark and I was at home by myself.
Cool.
So I didn't like it because after Lori finds all the bodies, she stumbles into the last corner and it shows this doorway and it's pitch black, bro. Like if you was in there, you wouldn't even be able to see your hand in front of your face, my guy.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you slowly start to see the white face slowly fade in. Dude, that's creepy.
Yes, it is. It's very good. Yeah, dude, it's literally right here on the front. See? There she is, and there's the
Oh
scene you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and
that's
you're
right.
right. It is Annie on the bed
Oh
because it's on here
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So there you
Pretty
go.
lit.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
We need to compare cases before it's over. I'll go grab mine at the end.
Yeah, we do.
But
This
I
is the Blockbuster Presents version. Pretty cool.
don't know what I got. But anyways, it's okay, so Michael fades in and this is where he takes the slash at her arm, cuts her shirt
Yeah.
open and like I mean, it's a pretty good gash. I mean, it
Yeah.
ain't I mean, it's probably a bad cut, but it ain't nothing serious.
Yeah.
So she like after that, she like trips and falls all the way down the
Yeah,
freaking stairs.
yeah, doesn't she fall over like the balcony thing?
Oh yeah, that's right.
She tumbles, yeah. Like she takes a hard fall.
And dude, this is one weird thing. Lori takes a second to get up, and from the whole time it takes her to get up and get out the door, Michael just stands there for a good second because he don't even start walking until she starts running. So
Yeah.
Michael is actually very considerate.
Yes,
He
and
at least gives her a head start, bro.
yeah, he does. What's his baby sister?
We will come
At
to
least in
find out
this one.
later.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, actually, not in this one
true.
because
Yeah.
you
Okay.
don't even find that out until the next one. Because
Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, that's true.
I'll go ahead and throw this out there: Lori and Michael are never supposed to make another return after the original Halloween.
Okay.
There was never supposed to be a Halloween storyline. There was never supposed to be a franchise. There was supposed to be a franchise,
But just
but
about different stuff, right?
yeah, after this first one, he was going to name them all Halloween, and they were going to be just different strange occurrences that just so happen to happen on Halloween. That's why the
Yeah.
third one's the season of the witch.
Yeah. Which is a good movie. Fight me.
I will admit I didn't like it when I was younger just because it didn't have Michael in it, but the last time I watched it, I could enjoy it.
Yeah, dude, it's good. I love it. And technically, it does have Michael in it because there's a trailer of Halloween, the original.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I forgot where I was at. Oh yeah, but it's the chase scene across the house. So Lori is running and she stops at one neighbor's house asking for help, but of course it's Halloween, so they just think it's a prank.
Hmm.
Wait, no, I forgot one part. So as she's running through the house, she locks the door behind her and she gets to another glass door, but it's locked. And Michael just kind of like punches through the door, just full on punches through it and just opens it. And in this shot, do you want to know what was going through my head?
What's that?
Why are his hands so clean?
Right?
Because by this time, he's already killed Annie, Bob, and Linda. And dude, he looks like he just washed his hands.
Yeah. Plus, he ate a dog.
Yeah.
Plus, he dug up a tombstone. Yeah.
And I think that's why it goes through my head so weirdly because for this to be such a good movie, I feel like they were really lacking there because I feel like if they would have made his hands dirtier, it would have been so much better. Because I mean, I really don't think it matters, but with how clean they were, that's what made them stand out. They were too clean that they stood out. If it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if
No,
you're a
yeah.
murderer and like you don't care about nothing, I don't think you'd be cleaning. I don't think you'd be washing your hands.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. I agree with that.
But yeah, but he punches through the door and he opens it and Lori can't get that door open, so she's just out of ideas. She breaks the glass and she opens it, and she get no, yeah, she grabs a fire poker and she breaks it out. That's what it was. But dude, she gets out right in the nick of time. It's one of the moments that they were trying to get you with. Like she gets out right as he gets to her, like most slasher movies do.
Oh, yeah. It's so intense. Yeah.
And that's when the chase scene starts. You want to go over the part with her running across the yard.
Yeah. Yeah. She runs and she goes, like you said, she goes to a neighbor's and beats on the thing, and the light kind of comes on and then it goes off. So they think that it's probably just a Halloween prank. So then she runs back to Tommy Doyle's, and the door was locked. And I read that she had the keys and she lost it in the fight with Michael, but I never seen her grab keys in that. Did you? Like when she
I
leaves that house?
Yeah, I just feel like it's better said she didn't have any because
Yeah, I just think
it's not even her
she just
house.
didn't even have it. Yeah.
Technically, she's not supposed to be leaving the house, so technically
Yeah,
she wouldn't
agree.
need a set of keys.
Yeah, I agree. So
So
anyway,
yeah,
she's beating on the door. Meanwhile, Michael's coming behind her and he's just gaining on her, and she's like, Tommy, Tommy, let me in. And again, in the nick of time, he opens the door.
yeah, because she has to throw a pot up at the window and break it for in order for them to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me tell you, dude, they open that door in the nick of time. Like I said, another moment like that where they want you to think, dude, that Lori's gonna get got.
Yes.
But no, that's when uh dude Tommy is like literally crapping himself at this point. He's like, it's the boogeyman, it is the boogeyman, the boogeyman is real.
Yeah.
And she sits him down and she's like, go upstairs and hide in the closet, lock the door, do what I say now.
Hmm.
And dude, honestly, I'm gonna say something that probably bad. I never realized that open window shot was showing how he got in the house.
Really?
I didn't know that. Really didn't. It never even occurred to me
Yeah.
because as she's hiding up there, she thinks she's safe because she locked the door and she sits down like in front of the couch and she sits down in the floor. She don't even sit down on the couch because she's got a plan in her head. She's like, no, please stop. And then whenever Michael pops up to stab her, he stabs the couch cushion, dude. She grabs a knit needle. Boom.
Yeah. Puts it right in his neck.
Hang on. because the very close attention to detail to the mask.
Yep,
That's
there's where
where
it went
she
in.
stabs him at with the knitting needle, my guy.
She got him good.
Dude, she did. Honestly, to the point to actually get him down for a tap out for a good minute.
Oh yeah. And then she
Enough
runs upstairs,
enough
right?
time for her to get upstairs, open the closet, and she's like she says, "Okay, I want you to go down the street to the McKin no, to the Beckers, to the it's either the Mackenzies or the Beckers, whichever one it ain't is used in a later movie.
Okay.
But I think it's the Becker's house. And right as soon as she says that, I actually didn't notice this, but before, as she's talking to him, you can see Michael already coming up the steps. I actually never even seen that because right after she says that, Michael's just standing there and Tommy screams. I thought that's the first time you seen him. I didn't even catch him walking up the steps. Did you?
No, I'd have to watch it again to see,
Yeah, if you look,
to be honest.
you got to look close because it's very faint. But
Yeah.
you can see him already coming up the steps. So he screams. And how do the kids even get out of the house, bro?
Dude, I guess they just book it. It never really shows it. She just tells them that and they run.
But then later on, you come to find out Michael don't really mess with kids. So
Yeah, not until the 2018 one.
yeah. But yeah, actually, dude, these kids knew their agenda because as soon as their feet hit that concrete, they started screaming. And thank God Loomis was there to hear them.
Yeah.
Because wait,
There's a part in there where she's hiding in the closet. Is that after the kids
yeah,
leave?
yeah, that has to be because the kids were hiding in that closet,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, after he comes up the stairs and um the kids run away, um Laurie is like she goes and she hides in that closet too. Well, she thinks Michael just somehow ain't gonna find her.
yeah.
And he starts trying to open it. And when he realizes he can't get it open, he starts stabbing through it, or does he punch through?
He breaks it.
Yeah, I mean he breaks it. That's what we should say.
Yeah.
And she's smart enough. She grabs a hanger and dude, she jabs him right in the
Oh,
friggin' eyeball with it.
I know, dude.
Dude,
That's so
you
painful
know
to
that
watch.
hurt. And
Yes.
it stuns him enough for him to drop his knife. And when she does it, she grabs it and she stabs him in the shoulder for some stupid reason. I don't see why she didn't stab him in the friggin' face.
Yeah. Stab him in the throat or something.
And for another dumb reason, he fell down and she didn't get on top of him and start stabbing him some more. Bruh, I don't care if it is a human. I don't care if it's just a human and he should be dead after that. If somebody breaking in my house, I'm
Yes.
stab. Dude, it's gonna be one of them stories. Dude stabbed 16 times for breaking into somebody's house. I'm making sure he's dead, bro. Like if
Yeah.
you break into my house, my family here, you die. Like one of us are dying.
Yeah.
Bro, to be honest, even if somebody was to break into my house and know they was doing wrong and tried to break out, I'd still probably kill them
Gotcha.
because you don't even know what their intentions were before. You don't even know
Yeah.
what they was planning on doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's down and she thinks she's finally good, right? So she's like chilling. She's like up against the thing, dude. She's like, whew. And this is where he pulls up Undertaker. He just,
Yeah, dude. I was about to say the same thing.
whoop. He just sits straight up.
Yeah.
And she don't see that, but as she stumbles out, he goes to lunge at her. And when he lunges at her, she like starts tussling with him and tussles and while he's grabbing her, she breaks free by ripping his mask off. And
Yeah.
this is the part that Tony Moran's famous for, the one that I met. He
Yeah.
is mainly known for the face of Michael Myers because this is probably the second only good shot you see a good shot of his face in the first timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Because dude, you get a really good look at him right before he puts that mask back on.
Yeah.
And dude,
Which gives her time to get away.
Yeah, I knew that as soon as he pulled that mask down, boom, Loomis shoots him.
Yeah.
And then he stumbles in there, and Michael's just standing there like, "What's up? That all you got?" Loomis is like, "All right." Just boom, 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 boom. And then after that last one, Michael tumbles off the balcony and falls off onto the ground.
Yeah.
And Loomis is standing there, and Laurie's crying, and she's like covering her ears from the gunshot. She's like, "Was that the boogeyman?" Like Tommy.
Yeah.
And he's like,
As a matter of
"As a matter
fact.
of fact, I do believe that was the boogeyman."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he stumbles out. No, I don't know
He
if I say
walks over to the
stumbles.
balcony. Yeah.
Yeah, he walks out to the balcony. And Michael's gone.
Yes. And then boom, end credits.
Yeah, in credits, bro. Because originally that's the end. Even though it's like Michael's gone, that was still originally supposed to be the end. There wasn't supposed to be a sequel. It was just supposed to be something that ended. Like a story. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Hmm.
But no, after that, people were like, "No, you have to do Michael." Everybody literally demanded it, and John Carpenter did not want to do another Michael movie. He
Yeah.
did not. He doesn't even care to say the whole time that he was writing Halloween 2, he would just buy a 12 pack and get drunk and write the first thing he would come about. Did you know
Well, he
that?
did a good job.
You
No,
know
I didn't
that?
know that. No.
See, and dude, and that's straight facts too. That's literally his one of his quotes.
Sweet.
And
Well,
it's crazy because it's still such a good movie.
I know, dude, he can write a great movie drunk better than some people can write a good movie sober or mediocre movie. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
But yeah, that is where the original Halloween movie ends, and that's after this is when the horror genre would be changed forever.
Oh yeah, because then after that comes um Friday the 13th in 1980, Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984.
And
Um
you got Scream coming out, and really because after Nightmare and Freddy, because Nightmare and Freddy kind of Nightmare and Freddy, Nightmare and Friday. After that, everybody kind of got they kind of started getting tired of like all the slashers until Scream came
yep.
out, bro.
Yeah, and then Scream revived it
Yeah,
in
Scream put
1996.
slashers back on the map because Scream is what made Laurie do H2O. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but that's awesome. Yeah, dude, Scream did for horror in the 90s what Halloween did for horror in the 70s
Hmm.
and for the next decade after that, of course.
But yeah, like we were saying, Halloween probably the one of the most iconic horror movies that will ever come out, and it will be talked about forever.
Yeah.
Michael Myers will
Mhm.
always be known because with that really low budget, somehow made that much money, and it was just super big at the time, and it's still big with the last trilogy that just came out. I mean, look, people can talk as much crap as they want to about Halloween Ends, but last time I heard, it just hit 100 million at the box office, so I don't think it's hurting them.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Dude,
y'all talking crap, but y'all still watching it, giving them money.
right? Yeah. Um, yeah, dude, and there will always be someone who wants to make another one. Always.
Honestly, if I was ever gonna be a filmmaker, that would be the one. If I had the chance to make anything, that would be the one thing I'd make.
Yeah.
Halloween,
Yeah, that'd
my
be
own
awesome.
timeline, bro. I'd do what the fans wanted. Like, see, that would be my thing. If I ever made it into something, like even the channel, bro. Like, I'm always be with the fans. I'm gonna do what the fans want to do. But
Yeah.
that's just crazy stuff. But that's the original Halloween from 1978. This is going to be the longest podcast episode that we have out because we
Sweet.
had to use 3 recordings for this. Hang on, let me go grab my case real quick.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, so Halloween is a legendary franchise. Very good. So if you made it this far, and you like what you're hearing, subscribe and like. And if you don't like it, then don't watch it. There we go.
All right. Oof. All right, check this out. So I got
Oh yeah.
John Carpenter's Halloween. And it's got Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, this is just says THX. I don't know if that's like a brand or what, but it's got Laurie with the knife
Oh
focus,
yeah.
and it's got Michael at the closet door. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, I have that one over there too, as well. See, this is the Blockbuster. You probably never been to a Blockbuster,
No.
but sweet. But Blockbuster, they took a bunch of movies that they loved and they made a Blockbuster series or Blockbuster Presents.
What kind of special features does yours have?
Uh, I don't think it has any, to be honest.
Mine has a few.
This is the VHS.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
mine is DVD. I ain't got no VHS because I ain't got no
yeah.
VHS player.
I'm old. I grew up on VHS. I love it. But I have the DVD as well. But no, this was just something that Blockbuster did. Yeah, it says right here that Blockbuster Presents is a special collection of some of the most enjoyable films ever made. So
Hmm.
I was pretty stoked when I found it. I think I got it from Spookables. So,
Really, I couldn't find no good movies when I went, bro. Easy had a
dude,
full wall of them.
that's where I get a lot of my stuff from. That and Welcome Back Collectibles.
Yeah, dude. Welcome back, collectibles, dude. That's the place, dog.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
love it.
lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
But yep, this is the original Halloween. That's it for this week's episode. But next week's episode is going to be lit. Dun, 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 dun.
Sweet.
Halloween 2. This is what we're going to be covering next week, you guys. The sequel to the one. Oh, God. Okay, good thing we only got 10 minutes left.
The sequel that wasn't supposed to be, apparently.
Yeah, yep, the sequel that was not supposed to be. But yeah, more of the night he came home. But if y'all don't know, this takes place the same night. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be
More than night he
covering
came home.
this next week. Yeah, this is gonna be the longest podcast episode we've had out so far. So the next week's probably gonna be long too. And the reason it's so long, bro, we're like Halloween, we're good at talking about Halloween, bro.
Yeah.
Like Halloween's just that movie that hits different for me. I'll always love Halloween. No
Oh
matter
yeah.
how many times I watch it, I ain't never gonna get tired of it.
Yeah, and you could talk about it for hours.
Oh yeah, dude. If I wanted to, I could for real just keep sitting here. I could have a freaking 10 hour long friggin' podcast episode.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but some other stuff we've got what 5 episodes of the podcast out already. Make sure you guys go check them out. And I uploaded a unboxing video on this bad boy right here
Which is from Halloween too.
from the movie we're gonna be covering next week, Halloween 2. I need to style his hair.
You don't
Yeah,
like his do?
and I need to get better foam heads because when they do that, like when they don't like fill out, they look wonky. They look like a wish mask.
Where did you get those foam heads from?
Mom got them for me for Christmas. I think she got them from Wish.
Gotcha. Because I need one for my mask.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah,
find one.
I like them. They're a good way to display. But yeah, you know how Michael's got like the little thing he's pulled out into like that,
Yeah.
if you can tell.
Yeah.
Because if you guys didn't know, Nick Castle or Tony Moran does not play Michael Myers. In Halloween, if you guys didn't know, they actually have different ones in all of them, except for Nick Castle. He plays in the first one in 2018, And then you got James Jude Courtney is the one that has played Michael the most, and he played him in everyone in the new
And
Halloween trilogy.
and the one from 4 plays in 4 and 6,
Oh,
right?
does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
George P. Wilbur.
Or no, what's the Dawn guy? Maybe
Oh,
it's 5 and 6.
5 and 6. Don
Um,
Shanks. Then
yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays in 2 of them.
I don't know. I think he only played in 5. Maybe it's 4 and 6 because I actually had a chance to meet Don Shanks once, but stupid COVID, dude.
COVID ruined it.
Yeah, dude, I was so mad. Yeah, I was supposed to go meet him. It was gonna be really cool, and COVID canceled it, and they never rescheduled it.
Okay, yeah, I don't think it's Don Shanks. Uh, oh yeah, he played him 5. Okay,
I know George P. Wilbur played
yeah,
in part 6.
yeah, then it's him. It's George P. Wilbur. He played in 4 and
I don't even
6.
know. I honestly think the only reason I remember that is because George P. Wilbur is like the widest to play Michael because that one scene stuck in my head, that chase scene. We'll go over that later because it's always stuck in my head. But yeah, that's it for this week, you guys. We need to go ahead and close it out so I can get it uploaded so we can so y'all can watch it. Y'all really need to watch it.
Yeah, it was George P. Wilbur. He played in 4 and 6. Yeah. All right.
Yep. That's it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is 1978 John Carpenter's Halloween. Next week is John Carpenter's Halloween 2. Well, it's not John Carpenter's Halloween 2. So, is it John Carpenter's Halloween 2?
I don't know if they put his name on it, but he
They
definitely
didn't
wrote it,
put his
right?
name on it, but I'm pretty sure he did that one. I think the first two and then 3 was the only ones he did.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Because I know he wasn't around for 4, 5, and 6, or
Yeah.
7 or 8 either.
Yeah,
He's
because they
still
kind of went a
working.
different way. Yeah.
Yep. All right, you guys. This is where we're gonna wrap up the podcast. This is it for the Horror Bros this week. I'm Danny,
And I'm there.
and we'll see you guys next week.